when something comes in like a fiery arrow, like a dart into my mind, like I try to listen to the grammar of whatever that thought is. So like sometimes the grammar is this is so stupid. This is a waste of time. So there's no personal pronouns in there. Like who's saying that? Like who's making that statement that like comes into my mind? It's probably not me, but I'm hearing it with my spiritual ears somehow. And sometimes the grammar is you, like it's in the second person. So it's like, you're so dumb. You've done the wrong thing with your life all these years, and now you're wasting more time. Well, why would I talk to myself like that? Like who's talking? Who's pointing the finger at me? And most likely that's the accuser saying, you're this, you're that. But then other times, and this is actually the most rare, so those first two categories, like listening grammatically, can help you know who's speaking, and most of the time it's the accuser. And then there's a third category, which is I. So when you have those thoughts that are I, those are actually kind of helpful, because those probably say, I'm afraid. I don't have what I need. I'm tired. I'm this. Like those actually give you information, because those are probably true and can guide you to fix, solving whatever deficit you're revealing to yourself. You know what I mean?
I do.
So it's very analytical way, but it's the only way that I have been able to really survive the onslaught of like negativity that comes. And the Bible describes the devil as the prince of the air, right? I think about that all the time. So it's like, and I think it's like there's like airwaves, like you can get kind of hippie about it, but like he's literally the prince of the air. Like his job is to send like airwaves to you to destabilize you, immobilize you, minimize you. But if you can kind of get savvy to the strategies that are there, I think you can, start shrugging things off. Like sometimes I will literally do this physically in my body and be like, get out of here. Like just get away,
That's right.
I don't know what that sounds like, but breaking things down grammatically has really helped me.
That is powerful. And I teach a 7-pronged process, basically, or a method. It's like a signature strategy to live your best thought life. And what you've just described, Melanie, so wonderfully with such good examples, and thank you for that, is some of those first initial steps that we take. And some of it is just recognizing what we're actually thinking about and being aware of that. I love how you look at it grammatically. I'm such a grammar nerd, and I'm like, oh boy, that is so helpful. I will share that with others, because it suddenly categorizes everything that we're thinking about kind of in a new way. And we do practice a lot of saying, like, who's saying that to me, or where is that coming from? And just even that kind of recognition is so helpful in the process of taking our thoughts captive and being transformed by renewing our mind and being on alert, really. And then even resisting, shrugging that off and just resisting the enemy. I call it partnering with him, or coming into agreement with the enemy. Why would I want to come into agreement with the enemy of my soul? Why would I want to do that? Why do I want to play on his team? Well, of course I don't. So I have to come out of agreement with him, and I have to consciously say, I'm not going to play on your team and support whatever it is you're doing, or your attacks. I'm not going to support those. And so it's distancing ourselves from that through our awareness of it, and then that resisting or rejecting those lies and just, shrugging them off. And so where do we go from there then? We then, I think, shift and we say, Lord, I'm just going to believe what you say. I want to play on your team. And maybe I do feel afraid. Maybe I am tired. Maybe I'm not really knowing what to do here, or what decision to make here. But suddenly we push back to God, recognizing and confessing just how we feel. Even if we have an area of unbelief, we can confess that. Just like the gentleman who brought his son and said, Lord, can you heal my son? And Jesus responds, can I? Like, and then the man says, the father says, oh, I'm sorry, help me with my unbelief. So we can even confess those areas of unbelief to God. He already knows them anyway, but just acknowledging them and recognizing them, and then asking for his help and depending on him. So I think in the backdrop of your being a social figure, a celebrity, a singer-songwriter, putting yourself out there, putting your, everything, you're pouring yourself out for others. Somewhere along the line, it seems to me that you've grounded yourself in knowing that God's called you to do this, and you're just releasing the outcome to God and not getting caught up in analytics, the numbers, everything that doesn't weigh up, and the number of likes or who shared this or what viewer said this or commented. We have to kind of keep that in perspective. But what I hear you saying is that you're still being persistent. You're still showing up. You're saying, hey, done beats perfect. You know for whom you work. I like to think of my work as my worship.